Friday morning. How are you this morning? Can you believe that it's Friday? I mean, it has been such a busy, great week. I mean, I feel like it was Monday and here we are Friday and we got so much done in between. Did we get everything done? Nope. That's why we have lists. That's why we have checking it off and can do it another day. I just feel like I've been running. We've had all kinds of new shows start these last 30 days, which is a great problem. Loving all the new shows, loving all the programming. So now I just got to get everybody organized on the same page. And so that's the hard part. All the shows are due on Wednesday and it seems like we're not getting that. So pray for me as I tighten up all that so that I can have the weekends off. The purpose of me having everything by Wednesday is so that everything can be programmed so that I can have the weekends off and spend time doing other things. But I appreciate every one of you listeners, every one of you ministries, every one of you partners for WAPN. I appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for being part of WAPN. Maybe you're a listener and you say, I'd love to help with the over and above, the streaming, the new music. Speaking of new music, I just downloaded a whole bunch of new music tonight for the rock show. So the rock show tonight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 6 to 7 p.m. And a new album was released this morning. So that is already downloaded and in the system. I know I have been busy, but maybe you say, hey, I'd like to help when you purchase music. Maybe I'd like to help when you have to pay streaming fees or whatever it is. You can stop by WAPN at 1508 State Avenue in Holly Hill. If I'm not here, go ahead and put it through that mail drop, your dollars, your fives, your hundreds, your thousands, and that will go right to us. I will get it and I will take care of that. Or you can go over to our website, WAPN.net, click on Give Now and become a partner right there. And I appreciate all of our partners. I appreciate all the businesses that sponsor WAPN. And, people always ask me, why do you do all the crazy stuff? Why do you stream? Why do you have the app? Why do you have 2 radio stations? Why do you do Facebook? Why do you do YouTube? All those things cost money because it's for the one person that we're reaching that needs to come to the Lord. So as I'm busy doing all these things, it costs a lot of money. And we've had equipment drama. Unbelievable. Yesterday, another piece broke. Yes, I just need to probably reorder everything for the studio. This studio kind of takes a beating. A lot of people in here, a lot of people just think that you can just cram stuff in there. And so probably should just go ahead and find backup of everything again. I ran out of backups. Usually I'm that person that keeps it back up here at all times. We had went through the backup. And so I think it's time for me just to order like 3 or 4 more pieces of equipment that just stay here and wait. I don't like to do that because I feel like when I do that, I am kind of saying, okay, if it breaks, no big deal. So pray for me as I decide what to do about that. New show started yesterday. Pastor Adele, I think they did a great job for their first time. They were so darn cute. They're going to be on at 11 on Thursdays. We switched the time up. So no, I didn't know what I was talking about yesterday morning. I thought they were going on at 9, but we switched to 11, which is fine. So that is every Thursday at 11. They are on Facebook Live and YouTube because they are live in the studio and they are using the podcast equipment. People always ask me, what is the difference of being here live in the studio? That's like I'm hoping when my friend June Wood is on vacation, she's going to come by and go live in the studio. But the difference is when you're in the studio, there's podcast equipment, and that puts you automatically on Facebook. Well, technology, and you have to push a couple buttons. And YouTube. So that is why it's great to come in live. Now, we will take your programs from anywhere in the world, United States, whatever. You can send that file in, and we will program that in for you. But it's fun coming live. It's fun doing interviews and different things like that. I love doing interviews with nonprofits. If I've never interviewed you, I would love to interview you. If I have interviewed you and you've got something coming up, it's for donation because we are a nonprofit also. That means we are a 501c3 and we are supported by the ministries, the locals, the businesses, you listeners. And so we had to change up that little bit of a ruling that if you've had an interview, you do need to do a donation to have another interview. But if you could send me all your flyers, send those flyers for Easter, for the helicopter drops, whatever's going on at your church, send them over WAPN@WAPN.net. I'm getting a file together, and what I'm going to do is the week of Easter, I will talk about it, and I will throw it all up on Facebook so everybody can figure out, Easter and Christmas are the two biggest times people go to church, and it's the biggest times they invite people to church. So I'm going to make a little, thing up and share it that way. I know Liz and Chris Sarno are having 2 services and they're having an Easter egg hunt. I saw that Calvary is doing the big helicopter drop. I know that South Daytona Christian Center is doing something. I shared a video about that. So I'd like to put them all together in one area so that as you're looking for a place to go spend Easter, that is how you can find it. So send them over to me, WAPN@WAPN.net. I know that also Lighthouse for Christ, Pastor Ron's church, they're having some artists in on the 4th of April. So that is night before Easter. So that flyer is up. So let's just share some flyers, WAPN@WAPN.net. Maybe you said, how do I get on the air? All these people are coming on the air. I'd love to be on the air. Well, go check out the program guide. I just don't have Adele up there yet, but go check out the program guide and you will see what's available. Click on it. You can open it all up, see what's available. Then it's best to email me. You and I work both the different schedules. I'm in and out of here. So email me and say, hey, I'm looking at Friday at 9 o'clock or whatever day you're looking at. And then we will get together and you can either send the file in. Literally, I can get you programmed that day. Or we will train you and you can come live in here and then do the podcast equipment also. I do prefer, if you do come in live, that you do the podcast equipment also. So it's a few minutes of training. It is very user friendly. And so we'll get you right on. It just, people always go, oh, I have to touch all that. It's just more intimidating saying you have to do it than actually doing it. So I would love to train you, get you and your ministry going. It is a very special place. We've been on the air for 40 years right here in Volusia County, Madison County, around the world. We have an Apple app. We stream everything on WAPN.net. We Twitter, we Instagram, we Facebook, and now we YouTube. So YouTube has only been a few months for us, and we're slowly building our audience. The weird thing about YouTube is you don't have to like us. You don't have to subscribe to us. So it's harder to build and harder to know. But even though I'm a numbers person and I like that information, I love statistics, I also know that God has the one. And so maybe you're a YouTuber and you say, how do we find you? Head on over to WAPN 91.5 FM and you'll just see the different live YouTube videos that we're putting up. And those are of live shows that are in here, doing prayer line, teaching, doing the morning show, doing great interviews that we interview people in our town. So it's just a different way to get the word out and get people interested in WAPN. But if you're local, 91.5 FM. Tonight, which is Friday night, we kick it off right after the normal programming of WAPN at 6 p.m. We kick it off with our rock show. Really getting a lot of buzz about the rock show, so I hope you listen to that. After the rock show leads right into young adults, late teens, whatever kind of music. We got some rap, we got some rock in there, and so that's just giving you the beat as you're out and about. We do that on Friday and Saturday night from 6 p.m. all the way to 1 a.m. So that's something that we've extended and working on some ideas. We would love to extend the rock program to 7 days a week, even longer. So how do you go longer than 7 days a week? I mean, by hours. And so maybe you've said, hey, how do I sponsor that show? We are looking for sponsors for the rock show. And so why don't you give us a call, a text, an email, whatever, and we'll get you in contact with Jeff to become a sponsor of the rock show. That is something we're working on right now. And I'm working on music for the whole evening. I don't know what I want to call it yet. I don't know. I haven't figured out the name of the show yet. but we would like to have, different music brought in there. I know we're getting ready to do the Hope Fest in August. So we're putting in the different artists that are going to be at the Hope Fest performing. We're adding that music to Fridays and Saturday nights. So maybe you say, hey, I would like to, send over some music or whatever. Email me, WAPN@WAPN.net. I'm always, willing to listen, see if it fits our programming, see if it's something that we can use here on WAPN. So we're constantly doing stuff. Yesterday, we got all new liners, and so we're working on the liners of WAPN. Super excited about that. People go, what are you doing? You got to constantly be rebooting, resetting, and stuff in life. To stay relevant to what's going on, you have to constantly add new things. So I am always doing that. Friday is my day that I kind of do all that kind of stuff. I like to get in here early. I love to listen to music early in the morning, set the atmosphere for the day. When I come around that corner, I look at WAPN as my little sanctuary. When I walk in this building, the peace of the Lord is just all over this place. I just love this little radio station. I come in here early and I like to be listening to the music. I like to listen to the liners and stuff. And that's what I like to do most to my programming. It just doesn't happen. I don't, wiggle my nose or whatever. I actually have to program in all the programs, all the music, the liners and stuff like that. So that is my time, mine and God's time. And it's funny. I always think, if you're a fly on the wall here, you would say that Shelley does everything I tell everybody not to do. That is actually what I do. I turn up the speakers really loud. I'm jamming. I'm having a good old time. But I feel that sets the atmosphere up in here. So as I am programming and as I am picking music and different things, I have the Spirit of God all around the station. And he's fueling me and feeding me and helping me to program WAPN. I know that I don't do everything the way everybody would like me to do it, but, I listen to God and I allow God to lead WAPN. And so sometimes people get mad and say, well, I can't believe you don't do this. Well, if God doesn't, speak to me and tell me to do that, I'm just not going to do it. WAPN is Spirit-led, and we are a Christian radio station. We love to pray for you. It's all about salvation here at WAPN. And so we try to lead you with the music and with the different ministries. And people go, well, why don't you get some of the bigger ministries? We want to be more local than anything. And that is important to me because I want you to be in Melbourne, Florida, and you can drive up here and go to Tomoka Christian Center. Or maybe you live in Palm Coast and you want to go to Calvary. Or maybe you're living down in Titusville and you say, I want to go see Relevant Church. I don't know who you want to go visit. But I do know that that's important to me, that you can drive and go to their church on, Easter or whatever day. When people move into our town, and we are a town that is in and out of people all the time, I always tell them, go to WAPN and listen to the different ministries of WAPN. And that helps you pick out what kind of church you might want to be going to or listening to. And then that way, when you walk into the church, you already feel like you're part of it. So that is something I always tell everybody to do. So you can head over to our program guide, like I said, at WAPN.net. Click on program guide, and that is going to tell you who's on the air. Well, it is Friday. Got a busy, busy day ahead. So let's get our favor on and get this day going. When you get in a habit of bragging on God's goodness, you'll see him do extraordinary things in your life. Extraordinary. I love that word. What extraordinary thing is God going to do for you today or this weekend? Well, it is Friday, like I said. March 20th, 2026. The weather better. Still windy. 71 with a low of 56. Madison, 76 with a low of 42. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday to my cousin Sandra, Elaine, Liz, everybody else that's celebrating a birthday, anniversary, whatever you're celebrating. Happy. Today is National Proposal Day, which I don't know if people actually get proposed today, but there's some silly things out there today. And so I love it when they do the posters, the grand gestures, but there's a donut place that actually has a donut hole in a box. I know. I loved it. I might just want it. I know that's weird, but I might just want it. It's also the beginning of spring today. My favorite season because I'm an 80s girl. Remember, get me your Easter stuff, WAPN at WAPN.net, because I'm, building a file for that. tonight. Go like, share, and follow WAPN 91.5 FM, Hope Fest, and Trinity Music and Media. Tune in tonight to The Rock Show. Send me a message. Tell me what you think about The Rock Show. It is now on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 6 to 7. And then on Friday and Saturday night, the music, the beat keeps continuing all the way till 1 a.m. So we're just working on some ideas here at WAPN. So I'd love to hear what you think about it all. Well, y'all have a wonderful, great